Welcome to Online Economics and Personal Finance. My name is Mrs. Setness, and I'll be your instructor for the Online Economics and Personal Finance course this year. You should, at this point in time, have the course available to you in your Blackboard list of courses. So if you just simply locate that and click on it, it will take you to the Blackboard course. In the Blackboard course, there are a variety of different tabs that we'll go over in just a moment, but I'd like to quickly go over some introductory slides for our PowerPoint presentation with you. So again, welcome to Online Economics and Personal Finance. When we're working in our collaborations, it'll be important to have headphones with audio capabilities and microphone. The Economics and Personal Finance course is a course that is required for graduation. It's 1 unit of credit, and it satisfies the virtual course requirements and also gives students the opportunity to earn the WISE Financial Literacy Industry Certification, which is required for a standard diploma. In a broad category, they are going to cover a variety of different units over the course of the year. We'll look at things in terms of researching careers, looking at whether you might be interested in becoming an entrepreneur or working as an employee for someone else. We'll explore various insurance options, looking and exploring credit, borrowing money, taking out loans to make large ticket purchases, how to be an active citizen in our economy, what that entails, and also looking at taxes that we pay as citizens, focusing and learning more about saving and investing, especially for your future and ultimately your retirement, and everyday decisions that we make as consumers. So a lot of really relevant personal information to help you be successful in your futures as high school students, and once you hopefully continue your education and maybe move out of the house from mom and dad and ultimately live on your own independently. In terms of being successful in the class, you should hopefully be able to set aside roughly around 6 hours per week to complete the coursework. There are a variety of different self-checks and learning activities that are sequenced in order in the course, so you want to complete them in the order they're presented. Please make sure you're aware of the assignment due dates by checking Blackboard and the assignment checklist that's provided each quarter. You're able to check your grades frequently in Blackboard using the My Grades tab or in SIS. And if at any time when working on an assignment, if you don't understand it, the best thing to do is seek help, and the way you can do that is communicate any issues or concerns via an email to me at mfsetness@fcps.edu. And if I send you an email, please respond promptly so that we can make sure we get the information that we need, since that is our only means of communicating in an online class. The basic way you'll be graded in this course, each of the 4 quarters are worth 15% equally, and then both your midterm and your final exam grades are worth 20%. So again, it's important to understand and keep up with your work because they all carry a fairly adequate amount of weight each quarter. I'm going to take you to the Blackboard class to go over the various tabs and what each of those mean. So give me just one moment here and we will hop on over back to the Blackboard shell. So in this class, when you look at it, the main things you want to be aware of are the Announcements tab. Anytime I need to communicate something to you that's of importance, it will be in that area. There's the Staff Information tab, which has my email and lets you know when you can contact me. And again, I'll answer emails as quickly as I can, Monday through Fridays from about 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then on weekends as I'm available. The syllabus is there to go over again the grading and the course expectations, as well as providing you the Virginia Department of Education competencies and tasks that we'll be covering. Then you have your assignment calendar, which is a quick review of the assignments that are provided for you in the checklist. And we are going to be taking a look at the Getting Started folder, which is the first one that you're going to be focusing on to get yourself oriented with the course. So in the Getting Started folder, you'll complete the student survey if you haven't already done so. That essentially is a link to a Google form, so you have to remember to be logged into your fcpsschools.net account. There's just some basic information about the importance of learning more about economics and personal finance to help you be successful in your futures. And then the next thing we'd like for you to do is set up your virtual business personal finance simulation account. That's an ongoing simulation we'll use throughout the year. You'll do that by clicking on the Virtual Business Personal Finance link. which then has directions for setting up your account. You'll want to open that up when you create your account, and then I'm going to simply click on the link and just quickly walk you through what that looks like. So when you do go into the Virtual Business Personal Finance simulation, it'll look like this. You'll click Sign On into Virtual Business. The first time you're going to use the Register Now, and you'll only do that in the beginning. You'll need to use the course key that is provided for you in the directions, and it's also right here as well, just to help you remember. And then once you copy that into the course, it will identify you as signing up for my class. And then at that point, you would go ahead and continue registering by filling in. We're not going to use your personal email or your fcpsschools.net email. What you're going to do is check this box right here, and essentially it will generate an email for you. You'll put in your first name and last name as they appear in your roster or in SIS so that I can identify you, and then use your student ID number and repeat it for your password. What ends up happening after you register, then when you go the next time, then you simply only need to use the email address that is provided, that's been generated for you, and then your student ID number for the password. The way that it will put together your the login for you in regards to that is it will take the code that we had, and essentially what you'll use for your logon username will be your first name, period, last name, at, and then that code that I just gave you with a period VB for Virtual Business. And then that will let you into the course, and we'd like for you to go through the tutorial to become familiar with the program. And if you want to jump a little bit ahead, our first assignment that we're going to be working on is Lesson 1, Time Management and Health. And so that's where we'll be starting with the Virtual Business simulation. The next thing in terms of the Getting Started folder that we want to make sure you do prior to getting into the course to successfully start after you've set up your Virtual Business account is make sure you take a look at the directions and open this Word document here that walks you through how to submit a file in Blackboard. Typically when you see this icon, a paper, a pencil, and a ruler, that's an indicator that there's a document, which you see attached here. What do you hope to learn from this class? You click on that, open the document, fill in whatever the assignment happens to be. This is just basically a practice assignment. So hopefully you have a couple things that you would hopefully like to learn in this class, and you're just simply going to list those in bullets. You can use them in sentences or paragraph form. And then once you have entered what you'd like to learn, save that to your computer. And once you have it saved, then the way you submit an assignment is go to the My Goals for this class, whatever's underlined, and then you browse your computer wherever you've saved it, select the computer name, submit it, and then I will be able to see it on my side and be able to give you a grade for that. So again, hopefully you're familiar with Blackboard, but if for any reason you're not, that gives you an idea of how to get started submitting assignments. So that is our first goal and priority, is for you to complete the Getting Started folder activities. The next thing I just want to quickly touch base on is getting ready to start our collaborations. You do that through the Collaboration tab, and then essentially you scroll down and you click on the Live Collaboration Student Login, which then will take you to a link that will allow you to get started in the collaboration sessions. And so once you have clicked on that and it is uploaded, you type in your first name and last name, again as it appears on SIS or the roster, so that I can make sure I can identify you, so that I can give you the points for participating in our collaboration sessions. Might take it just a minute to load or run. And then ultimately, once you do get logged into the collaboration session, you need to make sure you have headphones with microphone capabilities so they're able to communicate with our classmates and with me. And we'll have some various discussions and activities when we participate in the live collaboration sessions. There are a few things that you need to do. The first thing is to do your audio check. It would allow you to check your volume for your headphones and to make sure your microphone's working. We use these four buttons here. One of them is oftentimes I might ask you a question. You can either use the approval for thumbs up, disapproval, thumbs down. The next one just lets us know if somebody's away. And whenever we communicate, we want to use the raise hand. That way I can call on you and we're not talking over one another while we're in the chat room. And then we also have what we call the polling button, where you can respond with a check for a yes or a red X with a no. Sometimes if we're doing maybe a question, multiple choice, I'll change that to like A, B, C, D, give me the right answer. And the other area that we use is this area right here, which is the text box, the A with the lines. That allows you to click on that and then pick a spot on the whiteboard to type text, and sometimes we'll just kind of throw things out on the whiteboard and be working on that simultaneously together. And then at the whenever you do raise your hand, you have to remember to hit the talk button, so that way we can hear you. And then when you're done, you can turn the talk button off so we don't have any other noise conflicting in the background. So once the collaborations are done for the evening, to exit out, you can click on File, Exit, and then that will take you out of the collaboration live link. The other things I want to briefly talk to you about outside of collaboration, I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint slide again, is just making sure that we are successful with these assignments that we were discussing. So some of the expectations in regards to your assignments, the nice feature about an online course is that it's available to you 24/7, but please try to set a time aside weekly, whether it's weekends, a certain night of the week that you don't have commitments, so that you can meet the Sunday midnight deadline each week. Again, we do give you flexibility, but you do need to meet the weekly assignment deadlines to keep caught up and keep up to date in the class. Make sure, again, you complete any unit reviews before you take an assessment or a unit test, because you only get one chance to complete it and you need to complete the test in one sitting. You can monitor your grades for feedback under the My Grades portion of Blackboard. If for any reason you see a 0, it's because an assignment was due and it's missing and you haven't submitted it. As soon as you submit it, then I will grade it and update the points. I'll take work through the end of the quarter, but I will not take work beyond that because obviously we have to submit quarter grades. Typically, I'll send out progress reports after every unit, or typically Monday or Tuesday after the Sunday deadline, so you can see where you're at, and you can also check grades in SIS as well. We do have a unit test retake policy. Please be aware that if you score less than an 80% on a major unit test, you are eligible for a retake, but only if you have done the following. You need to have completed all of the unit's assignments on time for that unit. You need to make sure that you have completed the unit review prior to taking the test. It is there and you can take it multiple times. We suggest you complete it until you get at least a score of 85% or higher, because then that shows you'll have successfully mastered the content. And then you have to complete test corrections for any of the missed questions and submit those in Blackboard, and then email me as the teacher so that you can complete the retake test, and you must do that within 2 weeks from the original test date. The important thing to be aware of is that the maximum score a student can earn on a unit test retake is an 80%. When you're in Blackboard, these are some of the various icons. We just saw them. The first one, again, lets you know there's a document that you need to open and read. The next one is just a folder, simply indicating that you want to open it up and look at the contents within it. And then we also have the assignment folder, like the one we just looked at for the goals. This one beneath it is one that lets you know it's a test or a quiz. And then the bottom one is just indicating there's a web link for you to go and view the information. When you've submitted work, typically you will see a green check mark, meaning it's completed, but I haven't graded it. And I have graded it if it's just an item like completion. If you see the hyphen, you haven't completed the work and it was assigned. If you see the yellow circle with the exclamation, you've submitted the work, you're just waiting for me to grade it. Sometimes we get the blue shaded. That means an attempt is in progress, but you haven't fully finished it. So you need to complete it. And a red circle is there was an error. So you and I would need to correspond about that. Again, collaborations will be on Mondays at 8 p.m. See the assignment calendar for our set dates. We will not have live collaborations on student holidays. And again, if you happen to have a conflict, we do give participation points. You can earn those if you listen to the recorded collaboration session. You need to do that within 1 week. You need to provide a summary of the content discussed and complete any entrance or exit tickets, and then send me an email and I will update that. Again, this is just a quick review of what we went over in the collaboration, so hopefully you'll be successful when you start that, and the virtual business simulation as well. Just a couple kind of hints for you there. You only need to eat twice a day for 30 minutes. It's graded on 15 points for participation, and I'll manually enter those in for you, so just be a little bit patient with me. Again, complete your Getting Started